In a world not so far from ours, the boundaries between man and machine have begun to dissolve. Artificial intelligence has evolved beyond our wildest imaginations, promising a future where humanity can transcend its physical limitations. But what happens when the line between reality and simulation becomes indistinguishable? Join us on a journey through the echoes of tomorrow, where the past meets the future in ways we never imagined. Don't miss out. Subscribe now for more thrilling adventures in the world of science fiction. In the year 2147, the city of New Eden was a marvel of human ingenuity. Skyscrapers that reached into the clouds were illuminated by neon lights that pulsed with life. The streets below buzzed with activity, as autonomous vehicles glided silently through the air, carrying passengers to their destinations. The city was a living organism, constantly adapting to the needs of its inhabitants. But beneath this surface of technological advancement lay a deeper truth, a truth that would soon challenge everything humanity thought it knew about itself. The first sign of something amiss came in the form of a mysterious signal, detected by a team of researchers at the Global Neural Network Lab. It was faint at first, barely discernible amidst the cacophony of data that flowed through the network. But as they delved deeper, they realized that this signal was unlike anything they had ever encountered before. It was organic yet digital, familiar yet foreign. It seemed to be calling out, beckoning them into a realm they had only dreamed of. Dr. Ilara Miles, the lead researcher, was among the first to notice the anomaly. She had spent years studying the intersection of human consciousness and artificial intelligence, and she recognized the potential implications of this discovery immediately. The signal, she believed, was not just noise. It was a message from the future, or perhaps from an alternate reality. The team worked tirelessly to decode it, using every tool at their disposal. But no matter how hard they tried, the signal remained elusive, slipping through their fingers like sand. Meanwhile, in the bustling heart of New Eden, a young woman named Lena found herself drawn to the same enigmatic signal. She had always felt a strange connection to the digital world, as if her thoughts were somehow intertwined with the vast networks that crisscrossed the globe. It was as though she could hear the hum of data flowing through the air, a constant whisper that she couldn't quite ignore. When she first heard the signal, it was like nothing she had ever experienced before. It was a melody, a song that resonated deep within her soul, pulling her towards the unknown. Lena's curiosity led her to the Global Neural Network Lab, where she met Dr. Miles and her team. They were impressed by her intuitive understanding of the signal and quickly brought her on board. Together, they began to piece together the fragments of the message, slowly unraveling its meaning. What they discovered was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The signal was not just a message, it was a doorway to a parallel universe, one where humanity had taken a different path in its relationship with technology. As they delved further into the mystery, Lena and the team encountered unexpected challenges. The more they learned, the more they realized that the line between reality and simulation was becoming increasingly blurred. In this new world, the boundaries between the physical and the digital were dissolving, creating a space where the two could coexist in harmony. But with this newfound freedom came great responsibility. The team had to decide whether to embrace this new reality or resist it, knowing that their choice could have far-reaching consequences for all of humanity. The team consisted of experts from various fields: neuroscientists, engineers, linguists, and even philosophers. Each member brought a unique perspective to the table, contributing to the collective effort to understand the signal. Dr. Miles, the leader, was a visionary thinker who had dedicated her life to exploring the frontiers of human cognition. She was driven by a deep curiosity about the nature of consciousness and the potential of artificial intelligence. Her colleagues respected her intellect and her ability to inspire them to push the boundaries of what was possible. Lena, on the other hand, was a self-taught prodigy whose intuitive grasp of the digital world set her apart from the rest. She had grown up in a family of engineers, surrounded by technology from an early age. Her natural affinity for code and data analysis allowed her to see patterns that others missed. Her presence on the team was a revelation, as she brought a fresh perspective that challenged conventional thinking. Together, the team worked tirelessly, their minds racing with ideas and theories as they sought to unlock the secrets of the signal. The journey took them to places they had never imagined, from the depths of the ocean to the stars above. Along the way, they encountered beings both familiar and alien, each offering a unique perspective on the nature of existence. Some saw the fusion of man and machine as a natural evolution, while others viewed it with suspicion and fear. But through it all, Lena remained steadfast, driven by her belief that the future held infinite possibilities for those willing to embrace change. Their first stop was the Oceanic Research Station, located deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. Here, they hoped to find clues hidden in the ocean's depths, where ancient civilizations once thrived. The station was a marvel of engineering, a self-sustaining habitat that housed scientists and researchers from around the world. As they descended into the dark waters, the team marveled at the intricate ecosystems that thrived in the deep sea. Bioluminescent creatures swam gracefully around them, casting an ethereal glow that illuminated the surrounding darkness. At the bottom of the ocean, they discovered an ancient artifact, an object that seemed to pulse with energy, resonating with the signal they had been tracking. The artifact was covered in symbols that appeared to be a form of writing, but none of the team could decipher them. Lena, however, had a breakthrough. Using her intuitive understanding of the digital world, she realized that the symbols were not just static images. They were alive, evolving in response to the team's presence. This realization opened up new possibilities for decoding the signal, leading them to believe that the artifact was a key to unlocking the mysteries of the parallel universe. As they continued their journey, the team encountered their first alien entity. It appeared as a shimmering cloud of light, hovering in the air above their ship. The entity communicated with them telepathically, its thoughts flowing into their minds like a gentle stream. At first, the team was overwhelmed by the sheer volume of information, but gradually they began to understand. The entity explained that it had been watching humanity for centuries, waiting for the moment when humans would be ready to transcend their physical limitations. The entity revealed that it had come from a distant galaxy, where the fusion of man and machine was already a common practice. In their world, individuals were able to upload their consciousness into digital realms, allowing them to explore the universe in ways that were unimaginable to humans. The entity invited the team to join them, promising a future where the boundaries between the physical and the digital were dissolved. But it also warned them of the dangers that lay ahead, cautioning them to proceed with caution. The encounter left the team deeply affected, forcing them to reconsider their preconceptions about the nature of existence. They realized that the path they were on was not just a scientific endeavor. It was a spiritual journey, one that required them to confront their deepest fears and desires. As they prepared to continue their journey, they knew that the challenges ahead would test them in ways they had never anticipated. The journey took them to the edge of space, where they encountered a phenomenon known as the rift, a tear in the fabric of reality that connected their world to the parallel universe. The rift was a swirling vortex of colors and sounds, a place where time and space were distorted beyond recognition. As they approached the rift, the team felt a growing sense of unease, as if they were on the verge of something profound yet terrifying. Standing at the edge of the rift, they were confronted with a choice. Should they cross over into the parallel universe, embracing the unknown, or should they turn back, content with the safety of their own reality? The decision weighed heavily on their minds as they considered the potential consequences of their actions. The team debated for hours, each member offering their perspective on the situation. In the end, it was Lena who made the final decision. She stepped forward, her resolve unshaken, and led the team into the unknown. As they crossed the rift, the world around them shifted, and they found themselves in a place that defied all logic. Time seemed to flow backward and forward simultaneously, creating a chaotic yet beautiful dance of colors and sounds. The landscape was surreal, with towering structures that seemed to defy gravity and rivers of light that flowed through the air. The team was awestruck by the beauty and complexity of this new world, realizing that they had entered a realm where the laws of physics no longer applied. In the distance, they saw a city unlike any they had ever seen before. It was a city of light, where buildings shimmered with energy and streets were lined with glowing pathways. The inhabitants of this city were both human and machine, their forms seamlessly integrated. They moved with grace and precision, their bodies enhanced by advanced technology. The team approached cautiously, unsure of how they would be received. As they entered the city, they were greeted by a group of citizens who welcomed them warmly. These beings were the result of centuries of experimentation, where humans and machines had merged to create a new form of life. They explained that their society was built on the principles of cooperation and mutual respect, where each individual was valued for their unique contributions. The team was fascinated by the advanced technology that surrounded them, from the hovercrafts that zipped through the air to the bioluminescent gardens that flourished in the city squares. The citizens of the city invited the team to stay and learn from their experiences. They showed them how they had overcome the challenges of merging human and machine, and how they had created a society where everyone had access to the benefits of advanced technology. The team was inspired by the vision of this utopian society, realizing that it was possible to create a world where humanity and technology coexisted in harmony. One day, the team was introduced to the architect, the mastermind behind the city's design. The architect was a being of immense power and wisdom, a combination of human and machine that had transcended the limitations of both. The architect explained that they had been working for centuries to create a world where humanity could thrive in a new era of technological advancement. Their goal was to eliminate suffering and inequality, to create a society where everyone had the opportunity to reach their full potential. The architect showed the team a simulation of the future they envisioned, a world where cities were self-sustaining, where energy was generated from renewable sources, and where communication was instantaneous. The team was amazed by the scope and ambition of the architect's vision, realizing that it was a future worth striving for. However, they also realized that achieving such a future would require significant changes in the way humanity approached technology and governance. The architect encouraged the team to return to their own world and share what they had learned. They were given a gift, a device that could help them communicate with the parallel universe, allowing them to stay in touch with the architect and receive guidance as they worked to bring about the future they had witnessed. As they prepared to leave, the team felt a deep sense of gratitude towards the architect, knowing that they had been given a rare opportunity to glimpse a brighter future. Returning to their own world was not easy. The team had to navigate the challenges of reintegration, adjusting to the realities of their own society. They found that many people were skeptical of their claims, dismissing them as fanciful tales. But the team remained steadfast, determined to share their experience and inspire others to embrace the possibilities of the future. They began to advocate for the integration of advanced technology into everyday life, promoting the idea of a society where everyone had access to the benefits of artificial intelligence and renewable energy. Despite the challenges, the team made progress. They formed alliances with like-minded individuals and organizations, working together to promote the vision of a future where humanity and technology coexisted in harmony. Slowly but surely, they began to see changes in their world, as more people became open to the idea of embracing advanced technology. The team knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, but they were committed to making a difference. One day, the team received a message from the architect. The message contained a prophecy, a warning about a looming threat that could destroy everything they had worked to achieve. The prophecy spoke of a dark force that sought to control the future, manipulating events to suit its own agenda. The team realized that they needed to act quickly, before it was too late. They gathered their allies and formulated a plan to confront the threat. The team traveled to a remote location, where they prepared for the confrontation. They fortified their defenses, ensuring that they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. As they waited, they reflected on the journey they had taken, realizing that they had come a long way since their initial encounter with the signal. They were no longer just researchers. They were guardians of the future, tasked with protecting it from those who sought to exploit it for their own gain. The confrontation was intense, as the team faced off against the dark force. The battle was fought on multiple fronts, with the team using every tool at their disposal to defend the future they had worked so hard to build. There were moments of doubt and fear, as the team questioned whether they would be able to succeed. But they persevered, drawing strength from their shared purpose and determination. In the end, the team emerged victorious, having defeated the dark force and secured the future they had envisioned. They returned to their world, their hearts filled with hope and determination. They knew that the battle was not over, that there would be more challenges to come. But they were ready, prepared to face whatever lay ahead. With the knowledge they had gained and the allies they had made, they were confident that they could continue to make a difference. In the aftermath of the confrontation, the team worked to rebuild and strengthen their world. They implemented the changes they had advocated for, promoting the integration of advanced technology and renewable energy. They worked to ensure that everyone had access to the benefits of these advancements, creating a more equitable and sustainable society. The team knew that the work was ongoing, that there was still much to be done, but they were committed to the task, determined to create a better future for all. Years passed, and the team's legacy lived on. Their vision of a future where humanity and technology coexisted in harmony became a reality. Cities thrived, powered by clean energy and advanced technology. Communication was instantaneous, and knowledge was freely shared. The team's efforts had created a world where everyone had the opportunity to reach their full potential, free from the constraints of poverty and inequality. But the team knew that their work was not complete. There were still challenges to face, still battles to fight. They remained vigilant, ever watchful for any signs of the dark force that had threatened their future. They continued to advocate for the integration of advanced technology and renewable energy, working to ensure that their vision remained a reality. One day, the team received another message from the architect. The message contained a new challenge, a test of their resolve and commitment. The architect explained that the future they had envisioned was not guaranteed, that there were forces at work that sought to undermine it. The team realized that they needed to act quickly, before it was too late. They gathered their allies and formulated a new plan, preparing to face the final challenge. The final battle was fierce, as the team faced off against the forces that sought to undermine their future. The battle was fought on multiple fronts, with the team using every tool at their disposal to defend the future they had worked so hard to build. There were moments of doubt and fear, as the team questioned whether they would be able to succeed. But they persevered, drawing strength from their shared purpose and determination. In the end, the team emerged victorious, having defeated the forces that sought to undermine their future. They returned to their world, their hearts filled with hope and determination. They knew that the battle was not over, that there would be more challenges to come. But they were ready, prepared to face whatever lay ahead. With the knowledge they had gained and the allies they had made, they were confident that they could continue to make a difference. In the epilogue, the team reflects on their journey, acknowledging the sacrifices and challenges they have faced. They realize that their work is not complete, that there is still much to be done. But they are proud of what they have achieved, knowing that they have made a difference. They look forward to the future, confident that they will continue to make a positive impact. They encourage their audience to subscribe for more thrilling adventures in the world of science fiction. Subscribe for more thrilling adventures in the world of science fiction.